Colleen delivered
recording.
a beautiful speech last week, and when she realized, and I didn't realize, asked me if it was recorded. I said, "Oh no!" And it was at almost the end. So sorry about that. Sorry, Colleen. It was beautiful. Fortunately, yeah.
That's right. It's those things that we keep in our minds. The floor is yours, Carmen. You're muted, Carmen.
No, no.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, because we are talking through the other one. To show that. Close it. Okay. Okay. So today the subject is prosecution and justice. Based on this is the last of the beatitudes of the Sermon of the Mountain. And I think it's the last one that we are presenting. Not sure if it's the last one in order, but anyway. So basically, the whole objective today is for us to see the difference, not the difference, but what is prosecution and what's justice, and how should we really see it, and how can we act on it? What should we do? How should we face it? So, first part is more to do with prosecution, and the second part is to do with justice. Next. Okay. So, in Matthew 5:11, so we have the teaching of Jesus that says, "Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me, not because of anything else." So it's specifically to do with your faith in your sense of justice. In this case, it's not someone insulting you because whatever else. So rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. For the same way they persecute the prophets who were before you. So that's what Jesus told us in the mountain. But so what is the definition of prosecution? What is prosecution? In prosecution comes from the Greek, and it really means to put to fly or to pursue. So it's something that you shoot, put to fly, or get it away, get it away, or get away from you, or something that you pursue. So the word persecute means pursue with hostile intent. So you are pursuing something with intention of doing harm. So could be someone be ridiculized, or be denounced, or be threatened with death or injury, physical. So the prosecution could be moral, could be physical, could be social, doing harm to to the society. It's not really physical, but it could be physical as well. So it goes all those levels. It is inflicting pain or suffering upon people who hold different beliefs. So it's specifically to do with beliefs. Oh yeah, that is. To pursue with hostile intent. So, that's lost here. So in today's world, we can have different views of religions or faith, or not only that, but also how you live your life, how the things you believe are true and justice. So people that have the righteous, right? They say the right, he's called noble sentiments, and but you could be prosecuted by that, prosecuted in someone else's mind or someone else's attitude in relation to you, because of the way people, a person that really believes that live their lives through a faithful and just way. Let's put it this way. So positive emotions, and what happened is people nowadays also don't show their, but that's according to the text here. We, with the way the world is nowadays, we also having positive emotions, being grateful, have gratitude and forgiveness, and so that's different positive emotions here. People don't really show those emotions because fearing being prosecuted or being, how he says here, hard criticism. Be criticized for it because you're living like a moral life according to what you believe the truth is, and people tend to joke about it or putting it down, or because even feel offended, and because sometimes he gets those angry or hate even feelings on people because you are in a way different from those people that have a strong faith and believe in a specific way, can create those hate feelings on people that don't get offended because you think you are all knowing, you think you are the one that are right, you think you are the one that knows, so you're disrespecting me, and it could lead to a persecution, could even lead to not lead, it could get to a point that it gets physical, a person be attacked by it, because some people may feel personally disrespected. So what we do is we tend to hide them. So noble sentiments are often not fully expressed in today's world, as people fear misinterpretation or misjudgment giving prevailing social values. And nowadays more than ever. A noble sentiment may be perceived as a sign of weakness instead of strength. It might even be looked upon with derision. What's derision? Colleen, Yvonne? I was supposed to look in the dictionary, didn't.
Yeah, to be derisive means to put down.
Okay.
So be looked upon with derision. So you're being criticized, or yes,
or scorned.
Being crazy. Or what, sorry?
Or being scorned.
Okay. And So, so being some people are just joking from, or sometimes may even be as a mental or personal disturbance. So it is in reality. Well, I didn't put a question in here, but it's an open for a discussion. Really, I believe that's because people feel that they are different from yourself. People that tend to be moral rigorous, let's put this way, with their faith and following specific rules, tend to be criticized because the critic doesn't feel that it fits on his own life, and he feels that obviously we can see when things are right or wrong. Nobody's stupid. We will talk about this injustice. We know what is right and what's wrong. And we can see if someone is doing something right according to truth or not. And we can compare to ourselves and say, okay, they are right, I am wrong. So therefore, I need to go against them because they're putting me down. They are better than me. And that's how I think it is. But anyway, do you have any comments about it? No? Anyway, so that's what it says here. That's the reason why those who try to lead a noble and righteous life have always faced hard criticism and persecution, because the other people see them as different comparing to themselves, and think they are not respected, or they are not as just. They're different. So if they follow beliefs that teach them to live a moral life, people will mock them and even persecute them. There will be times that people will get mad at them for no reason at all. But I think it is to do with comparing people that are on the higher ground, let's put it this way, and the other people, everybody else just compare themselves and just feel put down and feel, oh, they think they're better than me, but they are not better than me just because. So
Can I also say, Carmen,
yes.
it often is an energy
Oh yes.
that people react to or respond to.
Oh, yeah.
They don't understand why you irk them, but you do irk them. The energy is at a totally different vibration, and it triggers them for some reason or another. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, you're right. I didn't think of it. Yes, I agree. It's a different energy altogether, and that's for no reason at all.
Yeah.
Here,
Yes.
it comes into play. They will hate them because of their love and respect for God. But really, it is an excuse. Could be anything, really, isn't it?
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily need to be because respect for God. It could be anything. It's just the person has like a moral high ground, and the energy, definitely. Followers of the truth very seldom please people on earth. I don't know. Probably not. And the way I see it is, we have all those prophets and all the people or philosophers that has that teach us how to have the right to find the truth, or for pursue the truth and justice, and be a better person, and elevate ourselves like Buddha and Gandhi and Jesus, and there's millions of examples, and we all know the path, which is very hard, and we do not want to do it. So it's easier to criticize the ones that do it. And that's what it is. Followers of the truth very seldom please people on earth, obviously, because we all want it. We want it for free, not with the effort. But the effort is huge.
Can I say also, Carmen, there is almost a competition. It is competitive when you go down the spiritual path. There are those from different churches or different beliefs that say, my way is the only way, and what you are doing is not the way.
Yes.
I know my truth. I know my Bible. I know my scripture, and what you are doing is against scripture because you cut your hair. In the Old Testament, it states you cannot cut your hair. Or you are doing mediumship, and it says in the Old Testament that you shouldn't do mediumship, that you are courting with the devil. Or you cannot be on a spiritual path if you do not go to church. So there are many who are competing almost. It is extraordinary how competitive being on the spiritual path is. It is outrageously nonsensical. It makes me not laugh, but almost lament at the waste of energy and love and time. Yes.
Yes, that's true. And yes, but also is they're all rules, right?
Yes.
They're all rules, and they all make up rules that nobody knows. Nobody's been there and back.
Yes.
It's just if you sit to the north, or if you whatever raise your right hand, or God knows, they're just rules. Who knows? But we know the truth. We know what is justice. We know what's right intrinsically. We have this in ourselves. So we know when we're doing right or wrong. We do know. We have the feeling. So it's but there is all the social rules. That's what it says here. It's imperative to have the courage to break away from those social values that one point in time could even promote aggressiveness against other people because it didn't follow the rules, my rules.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but if we look into history, I guess we have to be thankful for the law of progress, at least where the days that we are living now, we still have violence towards like beliefs. You can see with the war in the on the Midwest and all of that. But at least like we are progressing, like the bright side of this, like in the past, people go to war because if you don't follow what the church or the majority think, you would be burned like the witches, burned like other, what is the crusades and all of that. So I guess we still have a long road ahead of us of acceptance, of looking to the other and see them as children on a path of learning, but look in the past and learn from it. I like to think the bright side is that we are better and we are going towards it. At some point, we're going to get there when we can understand that my way of connect with God is my way and it's good for me, but might not be the same of my neighbor, but he is connecting on his way and doing great. So I like to think that at least we are evolving and we are not on a bloody bath that we used to in the past, even though we still have a lot of conflicts and like silent wars going on between other countries, but I think we're getting there.
Yeah, but obviously we progress, and the rules normally are more to organize the society than anything else, but like they are social laws, but something that used good in the past is not good anymore. So we have a better understanding of different social behaviors. So it is good. Obviously we are progressing, but that's something as well. That's because we need to break away for some of those rules when we see that they are not good anymore. They are not. They are start to being prejudice instead of getting us to a better spiritual path. So that's Voltaire. I disapprove what you say, but I will defend your to that your right to say it. So you really respect what the others believe. It is what it is. They believe, they believe. It's not to us to judge. But we may not approve it, but it's their right to say it. And like Gandhi says, eye for an eye will make the whole world blind. Because, and again, eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth, it was some point a Mosaic law, because at that point of civilization was a way forward. It was how to progress from something a lot worse. So instead of everybody killing everybody, you would only kill one. That if you took your eye, you take one eye. You don't kill the person. It means do exactly the same or the same level. It tried to put something. At the time, it was a law, but obviously it's something that Jesus came to see. No, this is not how we should do it. We should give the other face. If someone hurts you, you don't get revenge. You don't do it. You don't pay violence with violence. And the other thing that Jesus says, so the teachings is for us to, if someone offer one cheek when the other has been struck, he is saying, that's what Jesus used to say. We should not repay evil with evil. We should humbly accept everything that tends to lower our pride. So we shouldn't get in revenge or things like that. We should really try to follow. I think the maximum teaching of Jesus is do to others what you expect to be done to yourself. So you don't know what to do? Think, how do I like it to be for me? So they will not like, but I will like, they will not like. If I don't like, they will not like. So I don't do that. And so that's I'll just go back here a little bit. So that's the prosecution part, where we talk more about how we should react and how should we face when it's persecution. Obviously, it's easy to say, harder to do than like everything else. But there are so many different situations. How do you differentiate what is a persecution, just unfair, or is it because of your faith, or is something else? Should I let them do it? How do we break from the social norm against injustice? Do I let them do it just because Jesus say don't pay violence with violence? And then Gandhi is here to tell us that we should do like civil disobedience. That's what he did. But anyway, it's hard. It's hard. It's easy to say, harder to do. So anyone has any other comments about persecution? Then we'll just go through justice, which is the next part.
I sense that there is a lot to releasing the anger and frustration from within when one is criticized. It reflects that the other doesn't know you, and that in itself is frustrating because we are committed to living a life of transparency. So what we say is what we mean. What we say and how we act is how we connect with life itself. And so we expect others to see through and to see us. And yet there is judgment. And this judgment comes often with a sharp edge. And this creates in us a sense of almost being let down or feeling underappreciated, not being seen for who we are. And so it is this struggle, I sense, that is the biggest. Physical abuse is one thing, but the ongoing criticism and the ongoing psychological pressure that is imposed by those around us, it is often relentless. And how we need to rise above, to transcend this, is, I sense, the greatest of the challenges. To rise above, to see that it is all okay. And that is the challenge for each of us, I do sense. And that is how the Ho'oponopono is often greatly put to use, because you release the need to understand why, and you actively engage in the process of dismantling the prejudice that you have built up in your mind, as well as the prejudice that is built up in the energy that they are experiencing themselves as well. And not buying into that, and to uplifting it, releasing your need to understand and to step, as I said before, to transcend. And this is the ongoing
Challenge.
It is a challenge, but it is such an opportunity
Yes.
for us to expand our sense of connection with the world, and to know that it will always be the case. And so to step automatically in that mode, to transcend and release, and know that it is not the individual that is doing it knowingly. They are doing it not understanding why. Jesus said, yes, forgive them, for they do not know what they do.
Yeah.
And this in itself is a great teaching, to allow them the opportunity to grow with your love, not your love withheld because of their action, because of their attitudes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But also in Spiritism, we say when someone offend you or whatever, criticize you, whatever it is, it really is not the person that's offending that is causing the harm, but it's yourself taking in the offense.
Yes.
You feel offended. You
Yes.
don't need to feel offended.
Yes.
You choose to feel offended.
Yes.
You choose to feel put down. You accept that. So in Spiritism, they say also the person doesn't really know you, and whatever they say, it's not on you to take it in.
Yes.
So if you don't feel offended, you don't need to respond. If you don't feel attacked, you don't need to attack back, because it's a problem that the person with itself. The only thing you can do is forgive the person, because they don't know what he's doing or she's doing. They don't know what they're doing because you don't feel offended. It's not
Yes.
for you. That is some venting for the person. So there are those teachings as well, which is everything very, I think everything's very hard to put together. Very
Yes.
honest.
Yes. Brilliant.
Yeah. So we'll just go ahead with challenges ahead. Oftentimes we feel that answering back, we do or would do vengeance is indication that it will feel better, but obviously we should not try vengeance. When someone is aggressive, our reaction shouldn't be confrontation or be defensive. That's what I just said. If we stop for a minute, we probably will not respond, or we will respond in a different way or more peaceful way if we know what we wanted to do. We want to do. Being patient with the person, allow them to vent, and we understand their pain. So it's not for us, it's for them. So Chico Xavier said, it saddens me when someone offends me, or is offensive to me, but I would certainly feel worse if I am the offender. It's very terrible to hurt someone. So when someone provokes you into irritability, have a glass of water, what they call water of peace, and keep the water in your mouth with your mouth closed, and wait until you feel better. So you cannot talk. So you don't make things worse.
Who's that? That was Chico Xavier.
Chico Xavier, yeah.
Chico
Also
Xavier.
good. Also, good advice to keep hydrated.
His mother gave to Chico Xavier's mother gave it to him. So if someone comes to provoke you or be criticizing you, doesn't matter what it is, put some water in your mouth and wait.
When he was little, we used to see her mother that had passed away.
Yeah. It's a good advice. Now, there is a parable against persecution that I will not read. I didn't like it. But I'll do a summary. Abraham was sitting on his tent, and this old person, 90 years old person, came across walking the end of the day, and he received the person and said, "I stay here, sleep in the tent," and gave him some food. And when they're talking after dinner, he found out that the guy didn't worship the same God that he did. So he just got the guy out of the door. You're not good enough to be on my house because you don't worship the same God and that I do. Anyway, as soon as the guy was gone, God came to talk to Abraham and said, I took care of this person for 90 years. He's still alive and I'm taking care of him because one day he will see who is the true God. You send him walking. Okay. Oh, forgive me, God. I will get the guy back. So Abraham went and fetched the guy, come back, stay in the house, be charitable, and let the guy spend the night. And the next day gave him breakfast and say goodbye. And then God says, because you prosecute him, you would need to live in the wilds for 100 years, something like that. I'll just check the number right, but I think it's 100 years. 100 years in a strange land. But because you return him, you are forgiven. That's something like that. But what is showing really is it doesn't need much to prosecute someone. And is even for Abraham, which was like a God follower, suddenly he is prosecuting someone just because it's not the same God. Anyway, it was an interesting parable from Benjamin Franklin. Parable. Anyway, yeah. So we'll go for justice. So what is justice? Is not doing wrong to anyone, doing injuries or omitting the benefits that are your duty. It means you don't, if you have a duty to someone, you do it right by the person, and will not hurt the person physically, not morally. So that's Benjamin Franklin's saying. Wrong known by doing injuries or omitting the benefits that are your duty. I think this is in one of his
Virtues.
Virtues, yes. So I'll just read those 3 questions here because it's part of the Spirit's book, part 3, chapter 11. So, is the sentiment of justice to be found in nature itself, or is it the result of acquired ideas? So, like I said, it's something that we have in ourselves. It is so natural that you revolt at the thought of an injustice. So, injustice is so natural for us to perceive that we revolt against it. Moral progress undoubtedly develops this sentiment, but it does not create it. God has placed it in the human heart. So we have the sense of justice in ourselves. If justice is a natural law, how may it be explained that people understand it so differently, and that what one individual considers just appears unjust to another? And the answer of the Spirits is, it is because passion usually mingle with judgment, altering that sentiment, as happens with the majority of the other natural sentiments, causing one to see things from an erroneous point of view. And also, I think one thing we need to consider is the person's own path, progressive position in their progression, in their path for progress. So the person may not have all the experience we are not perfect yet. How may justice be defined? Justice consists in respecting the right of others, which is like Jesus said, do to yourself, to the others, what you expect to do to them to you. Or means respect the others. What determines these rights? They are determined by 2 things: human law and natural law. And so now, there's an interesting discussion here. I'll just finish reading this and then we'll talk. Some humans have established laws that are appropriate for their costumes and characters. Such laws have established rights that can vary with progress. And we know as our society progresses and civilization progresses, laws change, which were something that was like obsolete rights, which seem monstrous to you now, appear just natural at the time. So like slavery used to be okay. It's not okay anymore. Therefore, the rights of humans do not always conform with justice. So humans' law are not necessarily just. They only regulate social relations, while in private life, there is an infinity of acts that are the exclusive jurisdiction of the court of conscience. So many things is the justice of our own conscience. But obviously, well, anyone wants to do any comment on this?
The exclusive jurisdiction of the court of conscience.
Hmm.
Can I say something?
Well, yeah, I don't know why they say that, but obviously the human laws cannot regulate what you do in your house
Who's-
or in
who's
secret.
asking?
No, nobody's asking anything. So
Who
yes,
is speaking now?
Colleen.
Can I say something?
Yes. Jackson wants to talk.
The the human justice, it's a direct result of the human progress on the moral. So as we get progressed morally, we get close to the divine justice. The divine justice is the natural justice. So we sometimes most of the time don't understand justice, because we came from the primary law that we need to survive. To survive, we need to do anything to be able to survive. So, sorry. So, what was just before on the primate times, where we could kill to be able to survive, it's no longer, because we start respecting life, not just ours. We are starting taking ourselves from the center. Not totally yet, but as we do that, we approximate from the divine justice, which respect to life, and as Colleen would say, connect and respect the whole, as opposed to the unit, as opposed respect the belong, as opposed to the separation, the collective, as opposed to the individual. So that's the progress of the human law towards the divine law. So we modify. We can see, for example, it's actually in the book of spirits, and we can just look behind and see there is no, well, an example. There is no duels anymore. It's unacceptable to have duels, because this is a crime against life. Well, this is only 200 and something years when this came to the conscious. This came as a law. There are things that we still understanding, we still debating, we still don't know. Like, for example, the right of finishing life. This is a huge debate in any way you can imagine. Either on adulthood, when the person is suffering, or when a woman is developing a baby. What's the right of finishing their life, or what's the right of having the women choosing what she wants? So this is still debatable. This is still not fully understood. Okay, it's still the subject of opinions, the subject of a non-consensual. When I mean consensual, everybody agrees. So it's a non-consensual agreement. So I still have people that don't understand. So yeah, so that's what it's the fascinating about the justice, the human justice and the divine justice. And if you want to know more and have good good ideas about that, good perspectives, just have a look on the Pietro Baldi's work. He speaks a lot about that, how the justice will evolve across the human evolution. Okay, so that's me.
Any other comments?
The last sentence says, they only regulate certain social relations, while in private life, there is an infinity of acts that are the exclusive jurisdiction of the court of conscience.
Yeah.
So this pertains to how you think, what you are thinking at a particular time, your words chosen to speak to a particular individual, or how you speak to yourself, or yes, what you have done or not done, who you have ignored or what you have ignored, what you choose to do to busy your heart space and your life itself. These are elements of our day-to-day living where the courts, justice, even the justice that is deemed to be judgeable, the court of your conscience is constantly, yes, backed up with all of the senses of connections that each of us make, and how we have made them, and how we need to tend to them every day, in every moment. Our court of conscience is constantly in session. Yes, yes. And it can be tiresome if we are not sitting in peace and connected with a sense of love for all that is, because that will govern how we see, what we see, why we see, and who we speak to, how we speak to them. It will constantly be in session and hounding our conscience. And this is a challenge for each of us, to sit in that sense of peace and know that if only we see love in and around all things, then it will guide our thoughts. It will guide our actions. It will guide our words. Yes, yes.
Yeah, well, thank you, Colin. That's really excellent. That's exactly what it is. I didn't think of it. Of course, we are one judge. Yes, we're judging all the time, ourselves and others. Yes, we sit in judgment.
Yes, and we see it, we know it.
Yeah.
But it will always be so tiresome and so problematic if we don't take the next step. Yes, yes.
That's true. Next is next question is, outside the rights consecrated by human law, what is the basis of justice founded on natural law? Christ has told you, do unto others whatever you would have them do to you. God has placed in the human heart the rule of all true justice, to the desire that all have to see their rights respected. If you are uncertain of what you should do for your neighbor or any given circumstance, ask yourself what you would wish others to do to you in a similar situation. God could not give you a safer guide than your own conscience. And because we are good judges, we know. What would be the character of those who practice justice in all its purity? So who are the people that practice justice? That are true justice after the example of Jesus, because they would practice both charity and love toward their neighbors, without which there is no real justice. So justice can be obtained through charity and love. And then, as I say from Chico Xavier, he who has no reason to criticize me deserves no response. However, whoever does have it is being truthful, and we are powerless to go against the truth. If the person is truthful, there's no reason not to accept the truth. That's this is what Emmanuel has been teaching me for this reason during my entire life. I have tried to listen in silence to the truth and lies that have been said about me. And like he said, and like Spiritist said, whatever the people say, it's them saying. You don't need to take it into your conscience, into your judgment, into your ego. It's you can forgive. And that's the land of the free, no trespassing. I love that. That's the end. So probably talks more to the US than to us. Anyway, any other comments about justice? Where is my thing here? We'll do now the, oh, what did I do? Okay, yeah. So that's, I'll just stop presenting, and we'll do the meditation now. You put it on?
Okay, so turn everything off.
Yeah, I'll just turn this off.
I'm just gonna stop recording them.
Close your microphone.